Hello, welcome back to the channel. I don't usually cover YouTube news, but this article could mean big things for YouTube creators like you and me. It's in C21 Media, and the headline is YouTube CEO says next frontier is living room subscriptions. I thought I'd go through YouTube's 4 big bets on what's coming next. By the way, my name's Neal Mossey. I help high-achieving creators and performers just like you. High five. And I think YouTube's 4 big bets have an impact on what we do here on YouTube. Let me show you the article. I've got it on my phone here. This is YouTube's CEO, Neal Mohan. Fantastic name. I'm not sure about the spelling, but anyway, YouTube's chief executive Neal Mohan says YouTube's next frontier is the living room and subscriptions. I'll just scroll down here, and it's in a blog post. When I started at YouTube, people thought about content from major studios and content from creators as entirely different, but today that stark divide is gone. Viewers want everything in one place, from a live sports game to the BBC and Khan Academy and Nikki tutorials. Now I thought that shout out to the BBC, it seems random, but nothing's random, is it? With PR and comms. So I wonder if that's YouTube wooing the BBC. They're watching YouTube the way we used to sit down together for traditional TV shows. That's true. On the big screen, in the home with friends and family. Now, all of this comes from an official YouTube blog post. Let's click on the link here. This is YouTube's official blog. I love it when something says we're official. And it's a letter from the CEO, a letter from the YouTube CEO. 4 big bets for 2024. Yes, it might be 2024, but blogs are still a thing. They're still going. I'll put a link to this blog down in the description. Let's go through the 4 big bets. It's funny because the blog post starts with, since the very first upload. Do you know what the first upload on YouTube was? A quick pop quiz. Yep. It's the guy at San Diego Zoo. He's still there. Wow, 308 million views. Anyway, let's go back to the blog. And we'll go down to the first big bet. Oh, just before we go to the first big bet, look at this in this paragraph here. Let's see if I can make it bigger. And we've hit a new milestone. Today, more than 3 million channels are in the YouTube Partner Program. You know, YouTube Partner Program is where you get money from YouTube, from AdSense. And this figure, they don't mention the figure very often. The last time they mentioned this figure was 2 million creators. So 3 million creators get money for their YouTube videos. Now let's just think about that for a moment, because you might be trying to get monetized, become monetized. It feels like a mountain, and it feels like hundreds of thousands of people have done it before you, and they have. But 3 million doesn't seem like a very big number if you consider how many billions of hours are uploaded to YouTube. To think that in the entire world, on the entire planet, only 3 million people are getting money from YouTube for their YouTube videos. It's tiny. In my head, 3 million is nothing compared with the number of viewers. So if you are trying to become monetized, take heart that it is such a small number of people who've achieved that and done the paperwork and signed up to AdSense and been approved. I hope this helps keep you going. There are only 3 million channels. And that's not even creators, that's 3 million channels. Now, I've got 2 channels monetized, so we're not even talking about 3 million people. That's incredible. Anyway, I hope that keeps you going. But that's not the first big bet. The first big bet is this. AI will empower human creativity. We're approaching advances in AI with the same mission that launched YouTube years ago. We want to help everyone create. AI should empower human creativity, not replace it. Everyone should have access to tools. Let's think about this for a moment. That's very reassuring to hear that, but I think he needs to say it, because if we think about it, AI can generate right now text, music, sounds and images without breaking a sweat. My question as a creator is, surely YouTube will get to the stage where YouTube can make its own videos and tailor each one to each viewer. It's making backgrounds at the moment. When is YouTube going to start creating AI generated foregrounds? It's not such a huge leap. It does mean that YouTube would be able to not just generate one video, but it could tailor through AI, it could tailor a video to each and every viewer. Each viewer could get a bespoke AI generated video. And as a creator, obviously I can't do that, but YouTube can do it. I was talking to someone this week, funnily enough, at the BBC, and he suggested that maybe being a creator or an influencer isn't a long-term job. I'm not so sure that being a creator or influencer is a long-term job. Surely we'll get to the point where instead of offering the right video to each viewer, YouTube will have the ability to create the right video for each viewer. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. I think we've only got a few more years of this, you and me making videos. Or maybe there'll be a middle tier created by AI, you know, so instead of crafting the perfect how-to video, YouTube could just create a person that it knows that you not enjoy watching. So maybe you want to watch someone who's female, who's, I don't know, got red hair and a Boston accent, and maybe you want to be shown how to fix a toilet with a backdrop of Niagara Falls. But whatever's going on in the foreground can also be generated. It's nice to see in a blog that YouTube respects creators and wants to create AI tools to help creators. But I don't think we're that far away where AI becomes the creator, and it only hit me this week. That's why I wanted to make this video, because it just amused me that I hadn't even considered that. Anyway, YouTube's next big bet is number 2. Creators should be recognized as next generation studios. So the YouTube chief executive recognizes that YouTube helps creators be entrepreneurs. I can't help noticing this is number 2 after generative AI. He says we'll help policymakers and partners across the industry see the economic and entertainment value that creators bring to the table. Being a creator is a full-time job with an international audience, but most governments don't account for creators in their labour data. We believe creators should be recognised for their work, and creators at the top of their game should be acknowledged in key industry forums. So let the creators or meat packages make inroads with the governments, and I guess then once that's happened, then the AI can just take over, I guess. I have nothing but love and gratitude for being able to express myself here on YouTube. It's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. And that I get paid for it as well, that I get money for it, is insane. We're living in really, really exciting times. But I can see what's on the horizon. We can all see what's on the horizon. And it's closer than we think. I think that AI can just do its thing and generate so much more video than I can. So it's not bleak. I don't feel down about it. I feel energized by it, and I'm sure there will be opportunities for people like you and me to find a niche that the machines won't just take over. This next big bet for YouTube is really interesting, and if it were me, obviously I'm not chief executive of YouTube. If I were, I'd have rolled out the thumbnail testing by now. Still haven't got that. The number 3 big bet, I would have put this at number 1. YouTube's next frontier is the living room and subscriptions. Viewers want everything in one place, from a live sports game to the BBC to Khan Academy and Nikki Tutorials. I haven't seen Nikki Tutorials, I'll have a look at that. And they're watching YouTube the way we used to sit down together for traditional TV shows. I find it very, very interesting that they mention the BBC here, because broadcasters like BBC, CBC, ABC Australia, they have a huge choice right now. As they turn off the transmitters, you know, those transmitters we've had since the 1920s, they're being turned off, and everything is, I was going to hold up an Ethernet cable, everything is now going to be piped to us. And the big dilemma for these legacy broadcasters is, do they jump into YouTube TV and use YouTube as a platform to broadcast what was broadcasting? Thankfully, not a dilemma for you and me. It's not something that us mere creators need to worry about. But I've noticed this in my home. I don't know if you have this, but we watch shows on Netflix and Prime separately. It's really rare and really difficult to find a show that actually brings us together as a family. So we're all off, you know, my daughter's upstairs now watching Sister on a tablet. My son's watching the phone. My lovely wife is watching Bosch in the living room. With YouTube, we do show YouTube videos to each other on the big TV. It's like this weird show and tell where my lovely wife will show me a video about, you know, a tiny house video or Architectural Digest, and me and the kids would sit down and watch a Mr. Beast video or a Linus Tech Tips. So it's really funny that we're completely isolated from each other with Netflix and Prime, but with YouTube we sample each other's videos. And I don't know if it's because the videos are so short compared with, you know, a 45-minute episode of Bosch, or whether it's because the videos are so niche that it's actually really interesting just to have a little taste of something else and have that little family experience. I don't know if we're weird. Let me know in the comments if that's something that might be happening in your home. But there's something so specific about YouTube that means we curate in a different way to wading through all the menus on Netflix, Prime or Apple TV, if you're lucky to have that. My takeaway as a creator is that I release all my videos as 4K videos to future-proof them. It's an experiment, but it is very interesting to see that the big TV experience is now a focus after the total destruction of the swiping YouTube shorts on a minuscule screen. Maybe YouTube is realizing that there is more money to be made in getting a reaction bigger than this. This is the biggest reaction to a short on YouTube Shorts. This is the biggest reaction. If it's on the TV, it's going to have more impact, and maybe there's more money in that. Let's go down to YouTube's big bet, number 4. Protecting the creator economy is foundational. Yeah, up until the point when AI can just do it for everyone instead. It is really good to hear this. As a YouTube creator, and I don't think I'm alone, I feel like YouTube can just shut me down like that instantly. YouTube can crush me like an ant. My channels can be terminated with immediate effect and with no recourse whatsoever. So it is good to hear some reassurance in here that we're worth something financially to the platform at the moment. But I am very aware, eyes wide open, that it is a machine learning platform. This data is going to be used to generate videos. Why wouldn't it? And at the moment, we have AI to make backgrounds. Is it really a stretch to have AI make the foregrounds too, and to personalize those videos for every viewer? So these are the 4 bets. I like these 4 bets more than a little sobering for next year and maybe the year after. But what do you think? You know that I love hearing from you. Thank you for hitting this part of the video, for reaching this part of the video, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up or the subscribe button. It really helps me out and helps me to run this channel. I try out experiments here on YouTube so that you can try them on your channel. And right here is what YouTube knows you are going to love watching next. I don't think AI could do that outro.